Chapter 13. Sound. Sound is a form of energy which produces a sensation of hearing in our ears. Moving vehicles, television, music system, alarm clock, musical instrument, birds, sound-producing bodies. Vibration. A vibration is a rapid back and forth movement of a body about its mean position. A sound is produced because of a vibration. Activity 1. To show that sound is produced by a vibrating body. Things needed: a plastic or metal ruler, a desk or table. Method. We take a plastic or a metal ruler and place it on a table end so that about 15 centimeters extends over the table end edge. We press the ruler with one hand and flick the free end of the ruler with our finger. Activity 2. To show that sound is produced by a vibrating body. Things needed: a wooden board, 2 nails, a rubber band, a hammer. Method. With the help of a hammer, we fix 2 nails on the wooden board. We tie a rubber band between the 2 ends of the nails. We stretch the rubber band and then leave it. Activity 2. To show terms related to sound wave. Sound travels in the form of waves. Waves are characterized by 3 basic quantities, that is, frequency, amplitude, and time period. Simple pendulum. A simple pendulum consists of a small metal ball called bob, suspended by a long thread from a rigid support, such that the bob is free to swing back and forth. The motion of the bob of a pendulum from one extreme position to the other extreme position and back is called one oscillation of the pendulum. Amplitude of the pendulum. The maximum displacement of the bob from its mean position on either side is called the amplitude of pendulum. Time period of the pendulum. The time taken by the bob of a pendulum to complete one oscillation is called the time period of the pendulum. The time taken by the bob of the pendulum to travel from extreme position B to C and back to B is called the time period of the pendulum. Frequency. The number of complete oscillations made by a simple pendulum in 1 second is called its frequency. The SI unit of frequency is Hertz, H-Z, named in the honor of German physicist Heinrich R. Hertz. It is denoted by N or F. 1 Hertz is equal to total number of oscillations per second. That is, F is equal to 1 by T. If a simple pendulum makes 4 oscillations in 1 second, then its frequency will be 4 Hertz. Characteristics of sound. The characteristics of sound are pitch, loudness, and quality. Pitch. Pitch is the characteristic of sound by which we can distinguish a shrill sound from a grave, hoarse sound, even though the 2 sounds have the same loudness. The pitch of a sound depends upon the frequency of vibration. The pitch of the sound produced by an object vibrating with a low frequency is low, and the sound is described as grave or flat sound. The pitch of the sound produced by an object vibrating with a high frequency is high, and the sound is described as shrill sound. Higher the frequency of the sound, higher is its pitch, and vice versa. The voice of children and ladies is shrill as compared to the voice of men. This is because children and women have short vocal cords, which therefore vibrate with a high frequency to produce high-pitched shrill voice, whereas men have large vocal cords, which vibrate with a low frequency to produce low-pitched grave or flat sound. When the skin of a tabla or the strings of a guitar are tightened, they give out a sound of higher pitch than when they are loose. In a flute, sound is produced by the vibrating column of air. The frequency of vibration is altered by closing the holes of a flute, which changes the length of the column of vibrating air. Loudness. Loudness is a characteristic of a sound by which a loud sound can be distinguished from a faint sound, even though both have the same pitch. It is measured accurately by amplitude of vibration of the sound source. It has been found that loudness of sound is directly proportional to the square of the amplitude of the vibration producing the sound. If we strike a drum softly, its skin vibrates with a smaller amplitude, and a soft sound is produced. If we strike the same drum harder, its skin vibrates with a greater amplitude, and a louder sound is produced. The loudness of sound is measured in a unit called decibel, dB. The following table gives some idea of the loudness of sound coming from various sources. Quality. It is the characteristic of a sound that enables us to distinguish between two sounds of the same pitch and loudness produced by two different sources. It depends upon the waveform of the sound. For example, we can recognize our family members by their voice without seeing them because voice of each of them has a particular quality.